Welcome to Baking with Mrs. Radcliffe. Today we're going to make Bisquick cinnamon rolls. Super easy. You need some Bisquick, you need sugar, cinnamon, butter, a bunch of other ingredients, which you'll see as we go. I start off by pouring a generous amount of Bisquick into the bowl. Nope, I don't measure anything. Keep pouring as much Bisquick as you need, people. I then put in hot water because you need hot. It activates the leaveners in the Bisquick. I usually do this part by the sink, and I just keep putting hot water in and mixing until I get to the desired thickness. Here's what it should look like. It should pull away from the bowl. It should be a little shiny. Then I dust my surface with flour. I put my dough out. I kind of knead it a little bit, and then I flatten it down into the shape that I want to start rolling. I'm going to roll this out till it's about a 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little thinner depending on what you like. It varies for me. Once it's to the desired shape and thickness, I then spread a very liberal amount of butter, and yes, I use real butter, all over the entire surface. Then I put a liberal amount of cinnamon sugar on it, and then I begin rolling. When you start, pinch the edges to make it nice and tight, otherwise it's going to be loose and all your cinnamon sugar is going to fall out. This is what it looks like when you're finished. Next up, I'm going to start cutting the dough. Oh yes, pinch the edges and knock off the extra flour, then start cutting up the dough into 1-inch segments. I do all the cutting first, and then I place it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and that goes into a 400-degree oven for 11 to 12 minutes. While that's baking, I clean up and I make the frosting. I start with butter, I melt it, and then I throw in some powdered sugar, and then I put a little cream, and I mean a little, like a teaspoon in it, and I start to stir it with a fork. And you're going to see that it looks kind of blobby and thick. This is when I start adding a little bit of cream, and I put a tiny bit of vanilla and a pinch of salt, and I keep mixing until it has this really shiny appearance. And it's not runny, but it's dripping from the fork. So notice how it's shiny here. And we've got the right consistency. And about this time, I'm cleaning up. The buzzer goes off. I take out these beautiful golden brown cinnamon rolls. And while they're still hot, I'm going to drizzle the glaze over them so that it seeps into the cinnamon roll itself. Here's what it looks like as we are drizzling. I use the same fork. I try not to dirty very many dishes. And here we are, we're all done and we're ready to eat them. And I had to slap away Mr. Radcliffe's hand because he kept trying to steal one in the process. Enjoy.